Every million in the low bag. We still don't beat them bad. Real boss, Sixx boss, them a mad. Gaza Nation a beat them bad. Go ahead, them a go ahead like.
First and foremost, free the whole world, boss. I am your gracious host, Caspian Montgomery. Welcome, Gaza Nation, to another episode of the Vybz Kartel Show. Today, we'll be explaining the brand new G6 collaboration, Beat Them Bad, to the patois illiterate. So without further ado, squash, please begin.
Everybody cups up. Everybody fucked up. For the girl my God loves. If you know what I mean.
Sir Squash begins the first verse by letting us know that there is a Gaza 6 celebration going on at the moment, and everyone has their cups up in the air. They are highly intoxicated, highly inebriated, and there is just a fun time going on. I'm sure they are surrounded by many gorgeous Jamaican women, and Squash wants us to know that if we know what he means, he has love for the women. And by love, I believe he's talking about a penis in her vagina hole for the night, and then he has to wake up in the morning and spread his love to all the other women on the island.
She say I did love fuck. Get your pussy pumped up, belly pumped up. Feed the dogs, my got drugs. If you know what I mean.
Our great Gaza leader then comes in and lets us know that there's a particular woman at this party that is noticing that Adi has a voracious appetite for sexual relations. So he says, come over here and get your vagina pumped full of semen, and your belly will also probably be pumped up because Adi has very strong seed. We all know this due to his lineage of little Palmers running around the whole earth. And then he says, for the Gaza thugs, he has drugs, if you know what that means. And by that, he has all the liquor and the marijuana that we need to make sure that we have a successful and fun night at the G6 party.
Dark shades on my white tees. Pick up my car keys. Cuban link on my Nikes. When the girls I'm see with them, so we whitey, my piece.
The Sixx boss then comes in and lets us know that whenever he steps out, he is fresh from head to foot bottom. He has on a pair of dark shades because his future is so bright, he needs shades to see. And he also has on a classic look, the white tee. He picks up his car keys, and I'm assuming that it is a luxurious sports car. And he has on my favorite type of chain. He has on a Cuban link. You see it with the iced out Jesus piece. And he has on some Nikes that we probably couldn't afford. And when the girls see him, they automatically think, this is a man that I would like to get to know, hopefully for more than one night. But with the way Squash's career is blowing up, I highly doubt that he is going to be with just one woman for the moment.
See me and I come and make a light, girl, you're right. I will be your body for the night. You're not regular, you're like a Porsche or a kite. Tell God bless you every night, I'm a prayer.
The King of Dancehall then lets us know that this woman that has been trying to get in his pants all night finally comes over and asks him for a light for his spliff. And we all know that women do not usually initiate conversation with a man, so this was probably her best pickup line, but he understands, he recognizes what she is doing, and he says, yes, you can hang out with me for the night, we can be friends, and probably later that night we will go have sexual relations, because this woman is not a regular woman. She is the highest caliber, she is upper echelon, she is the Porsche of women, while the rest of the women at the party are Honda Civics. And that is why he says a prayer every night from this day forth, he is going to hope that God continues to bless her with her beauty and her just amazing personality. And with that last line, we have reached the glorious chorus.
Got a million in the low bag. We still don't beat them bad. Real boss, Sixx boss, them a mad. Gaza Nation a beat them bad. Go on them a go on like gala where you bad. We know have to brag, your gala give we job. Oh God, Sixx Nation a beat them bad. For a world.
This chorus and this beat simply scream summertime party. And at the same time, it lets us know who actually runs dancehall. Squash begins by letting us know there's a couple $1 million in his Louis Vuitton bag, but we are still connected to the streets. We still have our credibility. We still run dancehall, even though we are rich entrepreneurs. And then he says, world boss, Sixx boss, everyone else is a hater. They are very jealous and they are just simply mad they cannot be these two gentlemen. And then he lets us know that Gaza Nation will always beat them bad. They will always run things. They will always be on top. It will never stall out. And then the boss of all bosses comes in and says these other men, these other artists, they act just like females. So he asks, where is their maxi pad? Where is their tampon? Because they are very jealous, and jealousy is a female trait. And then he says he does not have to brag. Your girlfriends, if you see Squash or World Boss at a party, they will give these men blowjobs right away, no questions asked. And then he says Sixx Nation will beat them bad, and Sixx Nation is just on a tear right now in dancehall. They are simply killing it right now. This is such an amazing chorus. All I want to do is smile every time that I hear it.
We still a beat them bad. Drive out now the jag, watch the rest of them a jag. Running from the mob, no them a mad.
Ardy, the Innocent, begins the second and final verse by letting us know that even if he only had 3 leather belts, 2 automatic firearms, and 1 magazine, so 3, 2, 1, he would still beat out all the competition. The competition is watching him drive by in a high-class, brand-new Jaguar while they are jogging and walking because they do not even own a vehicle, and they are running from the magazine while it is firing off at them, and that must make them very vexed because they know they stand no chance when they are up against Gaza Nation or Sixx Nation.
I feel make it in a life. Money I'm a slave, I eat my colonize. Me not see no tired, I see dollar sign. Who I sell it weed, I know a fire time, turn Optimus a higher prime.
Mr. Palmer then lets us know that we must make it in life. We must strive to get ourselves in a better situation at all times by any means necessary. And then he lets us know that the money works for him. It is not the other way around. He is always colonizing the money. He's always making it grow, and it will never stop working for him because he does not get tired. All he wants to do in life is hustle for the money, and I believe that statement is true just by examining his work ethic. But he does need a break from time to time, so he asks someone at the party who is selling the weed because I want to light up a big spliff, and the spliff must be the best highest grades if you are going to sell marijuana to the world boss. It better be the Optimus Prime of weed. It better be the highest of high grades.
This one you have me nose. Big belly matic when all left and dummy clothes. Tap with them like dominoes. Right me show. Me off like the globe. Sweet in a Paris in a Versace room. Girl below I got the code.
World Boss then goes off on a lyrical tangent, as he so often does, and he says, I believe he's talking about the prior line about the marijuana, and he says, this one has my nose, so this strain is the strain that I'm choosing, and then he lets us know that he has a big automatic firearm, but it is not hidden under his clothes, it is exposed, and then he says that will topple them like dominoes, so I assume that they were all, if they were shot, they would fall over just like dominoes. And then he says Rodney show, and I do not know if he's talking about an old show with Rodney Price. If someone could tell me, explain it more in the comment section, it would be much appreciated. And then he says he's out to lock down the whole globe. He's out to take over. He is the world boss, so he's out to take over the entire music industry. And then he says he has a suite in Paris that is fit for a king, and he is in a Versace robe, and there is a woman on her knees giving him a blowjob because he has the code. He's figured out the game and he knows exactly how to beat it. He is living like the king that he is.
Brown and foot up on the dashboard. And not jazz, but she got the Glock load. Portmore, yeah, the wall of back road. Anytime a team roll out, yeah, we black road.
And now, Mr. Squash of Sixx Nation comes in and lets us know that in his vehicle he has a Browning. That is, I believe, what we call a light-skinned woman with her foot on the dashboard. But in her drawers, in her panties, she has a fully loaded Glock, which is my favorite firearm. And he says, a big shout out to Portmore. They hold down all of Portmore, Sixx Nation and Gaza Nation, and any time that the team rolls out, the entire street gets shut down because everybody is clamoring just to get a glimpse of Gaza Nation or Sixx Nation. They are that big.
Girl, take out the phone, take the stop code. Do one thing and keep it relevant, do. Keep it easy on the elephant tour.
The Sixx boss then says, I believe that a woman is maybe a fan. They took his phone. They are trying to break into it. They are trying to figure out the code, but he has his phone on lock. They do their own thing, Sixx Nation, and they always keep it relevant. And we all know this because Sixx Nation is running dancehall right now. And then the very last line is something about an elephant, but I do not want to mess it up. So if someone could decipher it and let me know in the comments, it would be greatly appreciated. And with that last line, we have reached the end of another Vybz Kartel and Squash masterpiece. Big shout out to David Wayne for letting me hear this audio before it came out, because he always has the plug on new songs and I don't know how he does it, but it always helps so I can begin to start these episodes in my head before the song actually comes out and then get the reviews to you as quick as possible. Big shout out also to Gaza Nation. This is just such a crazy year. Vybz Kartel is working in overdrive. He is literally showing every single other artist why he is the king of dancehall. So I will not take up any more of your time until we meet again. It is Gaza and Sixx forever.
Everybody cups up. Everybody fuck